Welcome. I'm Diane Yellowlight, a certified psychic, intuitive medium, life coach. Today, we're going to discuss about making life an adventure. Anytime that we think that we have a problem, it sounds horrible. Nobody wants to face it. Nobody knows what to do about it because it's a problem. So if we start seeing our situations as situations and those situations as adventure, okay, then you're going to be able to resolve your problems, which are really situations and only an adventure, so that you can move through them as quickly as possible, gaining the insight, the knowledge, the strength, the change of character, anything. When we accomplish something that we've not done before, that's what builds our confidence. That's what builds our ability to be able to say, I'm okay. I did that. It gives us power. So we need to, in our life, it's time to start reducing our situations to what I call kind of the ridiculous. You take and break it up in segments and you resolve one thing at a time. And when that gets resolved, then you can go to the next thing. And pretty soon, you'll have all of the ids or the inner things that are inside of one that allows one to create unloving situations in their life or to themselves. When we come to Earth, we are responsible to respond to life, not react. And we are responsible for ourselves, not another. When we have children, of course, we're responsible to a certain degree. But when they get a little bit older, and not when they're growing up, somewhere when they're about 13, 14, 15, we start to really need to be letting them know and think and be on their own as far as their thinking, not telling them what to do, but asking them how do they see it, what would they like to do, what would be their solution. And if they turn around and say, I don't know, then you say, well, you know what? What you think about that? And I bet you can come up with about 3 different ways that that could be solved. We don't give our children enough credit for what they can do. And we allow them to become lazy so that they don't think for themselves. And then they won't think when they grow up as adults. Somewhere along the line, we all have to face the things that we call in our childhood that may have enhanced us or destroyed us. It doesn't really matter. It's an experience. It's an adventure. It's not a life-threatening situation for the rest of your life. And it's been proven over and over. There's been a lot of people that have been extremely wounded in their life. They put a lot of time in putting it together and they come back authentically, really being what they were intended to be as far as how they see themselves, believe in themselves, let themselves create, let themselves be who they authentically are. You see, we have to be all the different emotions that we have. We know how to be drama. We know how to cry. We know how to get angry. We know how to be sad. We know how to laugh. Do we know how to giggle? Do we know how to be innocent? Do we know how to be silly? Do we know how to be ridiculous? Look at the kids when they're smaller and watch them when they play. They have an innocence about them that allows them to experience life from more of an innocent point of view. All of us in our early childhood, no matter how desperate the situations were or how great the situations were, we still have one thing that we have in common, and that is coming back to our authenticity of who we really are, not what we've been programmed or taught. Some of that's true, and some of it's not. Are you buying somebody else's identity? For example, did somebody in your family say it was great to be a doctor? And you may have thought you wanted to take care of animals. That's a doctor in a way. But maybe you went in the direction of somebody else's dream. It's very, very important that you know what your dream is and you follow your dream. And you have morals and respect others. You do it the right way, the hard way. Don't take the cheap shortcuts. They usually hurt self and hurt others. And then start seeing your situations that come upon you as just experiences, an adventure. That is all it is. Sometimes adventures are scary, but if we realize that it isn't forever, and if we realize that we have power over our adventures, we have power over our life and our life situations, then we can turn our lives into an adventure instead of the disaster, destruction, turmoil, chaos, fear, all of the above that allows us to run away from our authentic self, our spiritual self, and our whole self. So, what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to start taking charge of it in the way that's going to make you be the better person and the best for you, not losing your identity? Sometimes as children we're taught we're something. Maybe somebody says you're very unappreciative. And you grow up and you think, well, I'm unappreciated. So you act it out. But maybe you're really not unappreciated. Maybe they misunderstood what you were all about and gave you a title. Maybe it's their title. Did you ever think of that? Maybe it belongs to somebody else. Well, until we discover to make sure that what people are labeling us, and if it fits, then wear it. If you're okay with it, then show it to the world. Just remember, everything needs to be in some kind of a balance of passion, love, balance, compassion, caring, sharing, thinking of the highest good of all, not just self. And when we stay in those grounds and we do all the different things that we're doing, then we're allowed to be our authentic self. You know what's really interesting is when we become our authentic selves, we accept it. I mean, not pretending, just really accept it. Then you know what? So do others. They may say, wow, she's zany, or wow, he's creative. I couldn't do what he does. It doesn't matter. See, they're giving you credit for what you can do, but they're saying it's not what they could do. And see, when we get into the point of where we can present that energy to the world that way, then people start accepting us. And then life gets better. We don't have to change. We be accepted. It's when we don't accept what we really are and we act out like we're really not, that people sense this energy and they give us the reaction of what we're all about. And it's easy to start to learn to label. One, you separate labels. One, you have to be authentic with yourself. You've got to separate yours, what you were given. And when you do that and you come into and you have this little packet and you say, silly. Silly is one of my words. I like being silly. I don't care what age I am or what it's all about. I like to be silly at times. So you own that with pride. So you become silly and know the boundaries. Sometimes when people become silly, they go too far. Then it becomes irritating. So a lot of it is learning how to be you authentically, making sure it's your words, your belief system, how to be in balance with that for the respect of others as well as yourself, and how not to go too far with what we're about and impose that upon other people. When you start looking at life again as just an adventure, then you get a little excited about it because, sometimes when you go to a new place and you haven't been there, but you got all these ideas of what it can be like and everything, that's excitement. You can have that same excitement in your life of whatever you do. A situation comes into your life, then you get excited about how you're going to resolve it because you know you can. And it just takes the first time. The first time you really master something and you didn't live off others or cheat, you get really excited. And it's like, wow, I did that. Now somebody else will look at you and go, that's no big deal, because to them it's not a big deal. But it doesn't discredit you unless you allow it. And if you let it discredit you, then you believe that, and people have discredited you before and you've accepted it. You don't have to fight anything. You just have to say, that's okay, and be comfortable with that. I am silly, and you wouldn't be silly, and that's really okay. And it's okay for you not and me to be. And then we can co-create. So I'm just trying to show you here that take the problems out of your life and put them as situations, and put those situations as adventures, and then you'll resolve them, because we will listen to adventures, but we won't listen to problems, because nobody wants to hear problems. Problems sound negative. Problems, negative. Situations, okay, that's a different story. Situations are situations, which means they're changeable. How you perceive those situations, if you keep it as an adventure, like, gee, I wonder what I can do here. I wonder how long it's going to take. And I wonder what all I'm going to find out. And I wonder about me. What is this all about? And when you go in there openly, you find out things about yourself that are great, that you didn't know about. You find out things about yourself that, whoa, you thought you were greater than you were, but you got work on it. It doesn't really matter, because we're here to learn, to experience, to adventure, to create, to co-create, and eventually get back to our manifestation in the highest good, instead of manifesting what we've been taught or what we've been given that isn't loving. We don't need to carry things that are not loving on. If we do, then we're going to go around the same circle and get the same reaction. Ask yourself a question. If what you're doing today, whatever it is in any of your situations, and you've been doing something to improve it, I'm sure, because we all do that. We have a natural instinct to do that. Is it working for you? If it's not working for you, then it's not necessary to repeat it. When we repeat it and it still doesn't work for us, we get frustrated. And then a lot of times we blame it on the other person. They didn't respond, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. The thing about it is finding the right key for the solution to resolve something in your heart, soul, mind, spirit, flesh. Not just power-minded, like, I'm going to control it in my mind and I'm never going to think about that again and it'll eventually go away. No, the only way it goes away is if you heal yourself, love yourself, understand yourself, and feel what you need to feel. Maybe you need to grieve. Excuse me. Maybe you need to be angry, but angry in a constructive way. If you want to be angry, write it down on a paper or put it in an email and then destroy it, delete it. We don't put our anger out upon the world, because it's not their anger. Maybe they've done something to make us angry, but it's not worth losing people over that. And if they've done something to make us angry, if it's just a situation, then we can resolve it by going to the person in the right way, and not being a parent, a mother, a teacher, or whatever it is. Going to a person with heart and soul, of saying preferences. I feel this way when this situation comes up. You're a part of that. I would like you to help me. Would you help me work with this? And would you do your part that would help me as well? And you may say to the person, it's really important, because I am sensitive in this area, that you would be more constructive with your criticism, if possible, because that would make our relationship, and that would give me a chance to evolve and resolve that situation so that I can grow. We need each other to teach each other. We need each other to express to each other. We need each other to see what we call the dark shadow side of ourselves. And that's the part that we haven't resolved, that usually is kind of ugly, doesn't feel good about itself. And that's our responsibility to resolve that, because we're whole, complete, and perfect the way we are. So I'm asking each and every one of you to go above and beyond your circumstances today, and take and ponder upon this, and make the necessary movements in your life that will allow you to get to your situations and experience and make them an adventure, so you can resolve the adventure, which builds a house in you stronger, move forward to the next adventure and the next adventure. And pretty soon the adventures become easier and they become more exciting, and they become more positive and more accepting with self and others. I got lots of videos on other subjects that relate to how to get you to this point. It's very, very important that you establish your own house inside of self and come back to the point of seeing life as innocent as an adventure. Because we really are capturing our innocence back, that whatever got destroyed along the way by others or self, it can come back to you if you cleanse out and open up that heart and chakra and mind and spirit and soul and work from that authenticity. Then you'll be able to be happy and content. You'll stop the insanity of trying to control and manipulate situations and people and circumstances. You'll get a flow. And that's all we really want, is to be in the flow and be happy, really inside. Because the material things in life are great, but when it comes down to it, it's what's inside that's even greater. So until next time, I ask each and one of you to go above and beyond your circumstances. Resolve this. This is one step further to your highest good of evolution and of helping mankind and humanity at the same time. I send each and every one of you the power and the strength of love and light to follow through with your mission in life, so that when you get to the end of your road, you can be very happy and content with how life turned out. So until next time, take care of yourself, know you're important, respect yourself, respect others, let them have their opinions and be who they are. Let yourself be who you are. No reason to battle. There's nothing to battle over. We think so because we want everybody to either like us or we want to change something, how somebody thinks about us. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to work within ourselves. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.